Hi, Jim Walden with Everything Real Estate. I'm with RE/MAX Select Professionals, and today I'm with Bill Gallagher. He's with Solar Fit Incorporated in Daytona Beach, Florida. So Bill, tell us a little bit about Solar Fit and what you do.
All right, Jim, thanks first of all for allowing me to be a guest on your show. Very happy that we are actually solar providers. We've been in business since 1975. We're in our 45th year. We have over 20,000 local customers, many of them in Palm Coast like yourself, and great customers that you are, the Waldens.
Yes. Love my system.
Thank you.
But do you have your own crews that go out and install these?
Yeah, we do. You know, that's a really important question, because what's happening in the industry right now is many people are coming into it because of the tax credit scale down, and they're subcontracting the work, which has really never been a really good idea. So we've got our own installers. They come to work every day, licensed, insured, factory trained, the best.
Right. And as far as your warranties, you handle all the repair work and stuff like that. If there isn't even warranty work that needs to be done.
Correct. Another important point, a lot of the companies now, they install the systems, but they don't warranty the systems. In other words, a warranty comes from the manufacturer, but there's no one there to service it. So we're a full service organization. You just pick up the phone and call us, and we're there in short order to fix whatever the problem is.
Very good. Well, we're in his showroom and here at his office, so we're going to take a little look at some of the products that they offer and let him tell us a little bit about them. So let's go over here and look at one of the solar panels itself.
Awesome.
Now this is one of the panels you sell, is that correct?
That's correct, Jim. This is what's on your home. This is manufactured by SunPower, which is really the top of the line in solar modules. And how it differs from other products on the market is they've actually patented a back contact technology, where the whole cell is exposed to sunlight, so it develops much more energy. 25-year warranty on the product, on the production, labor and everything. It's just the top of the line.
Just to give them an idea, I think my first system you put on my home was in 2011, and each of those panels had an output of 270 watts, I believe. What do these do these days?
These are now 400 watts.
Quite an improvement.
Quite an improvement, right, over time, and which really means that you're going to cover more electric savings in a smaller footprint on the roof. Where that's important is with folks like yourself who have a Tesla automobile, which is like the top of the line, Jim, top of the line. If you decide to add one in the future, which I understand are going to be down low around $25,000 based on yesterday's power production thing that they had on TV, everyone's going to be going to the electric cars. Well, once you add an electric car and you have solar power, we can easily add additional modules on. Good for everyone.
Right, yeah, I did mine in pieces and parts because just it seemed like the right thing to do at the time. And like you were saying, the electric cars, of course, they draw current from your house and you pay the power bill for your electricity. And the people I've talked with, they said, well, you're not really getting clean energy because that's still coming from a coal-burning generator plant. So I put solar with a battery backup, so now I get truly free, clean energy from my car.
Well, not only that, you don't have an electric bill, right? You don't have a gas bill. I mean, how does it get better than that?
So it doesn't.
And now you're in the real estate business. Imagine owning your house like you do and not having a gas payment and not having an electric payment. You got to go somewhere on vacation with that additional money.
Oh, exactly. That's what we do. A lot of cruises.
All good.
Now, in the real estate business, I talk to a lot of people about solar electric for their home. Of course, right after they purchase a home, it's not really the best time to talk to them about because they've tied up all of their equity in the home. But after a while, still their biggest concern is the cost of the electric panels. Do you have any financing or any ways to offset that cost?
Yeah, we absolutely do, and that's one of the biggest concerns ongoing has been what does it cost to do it. We have a product that we call the Solar Easy Plan, where for no money down, we'll design, engineer, install the system, permit and everything on your home, and there'll be no payments for a year, and after a year, you can apply your federal tax credit rate. Right now it's 26%, going down to 22 next year, but you apply your tax credit, and the payment adjusts to almost what you're spending now. So it doesn't disrupt your budget. You've done something great for the environment. You've increased the value of your home for resale, which you could certainly talk to about that. You know, I always think if I'm going to sell my home and I have solar on my home and the fellow next door doesn't, and my electric bill is $8 and my neighbor's is $300, which do you think has more value?
Exactly.
Pretty easy to
And
answer.
a lot of people, they will ask to see the previous owner's electric bills, their water bills also, just to kind of get an idea of what they will be paying. And if they see that they're paying almost nothing for electricity, that is a big perk.
Yeah. Hey, Jim, I got a question for you, because this has always been something that we have to address every day. When people are talking about an investment such as this, I liken it to renting a home, right? So let's suppose I go out and I rent a home and I pay $1,000 a month and I rent that home for 5 years. I've basically lost $60,000, right? If I spend any amount of money and I do an investment in my solar system, it comes back to me 3 times. So it's really kind of a no-brainer. It's just a matter of researching it, really.
Oh, exactly. And a lot of people don't quite get that concept, so maybe watching this video will help them understand that it might be like buying a car and putting it up on your roof, but that car is going to pay for itself for 40 years. So you're going to get reap the rewards for 40 years, because these are guaranteed, warranted for 40 years. Is that correct?
They'll produce power for way in excess of 40 years, or warranty for 25
Okay.
years, parts and labor. But that's an interesting point that you make there. So if I go out, let's say I went out and I bought a car, and my car payment was $400 a month, and I went and my dealer said, okay, when you buy this car, at the end of the month, I'm going to pay you $400. Would I buy that car? Well, I'd buy 10 cars, because it's not costing. It's the same thing with solar. So when you invest in solar on your home, even though you have a payment for that, it's offset by the reduction of electric, and in real world, there's no difference.
Right.
Free
So
energy.
you're actually saving money on your electric bill to help pay for the solar system.
Yeah, your utility savings is paying for your solar system.
And also with apparently it sounds like the federal tax credit is going down every year now until it goes down to 0, I assume?
Right. So now it's 26%, 2020. Next year it'll be 22%. Then it'll be 10%, and it's gone. So if folks, if you're out there thinking, let's wait a couple years to do this, probably not really the best decision, because right now the government's helping, people in America go to renewable energy. I think that's pretty exciting.
It is pretty exciting. And there's no better time to buy than right now.
Amen.
So you can call Bill, you can call me, and we'll help get you set up with a price for your home and see if it's financially able for you to do it, right?
Perfect.
All right, I'll tell you what, anything else you want to tell us about the SunPower solar panels?
Well, I think right now they've come out with a new storage system called the SunVault, and a lot of people are familiar with the Tesla Powerwall. We install lots of Tesla Powerwalls, excellent product. SunPower has now come out with a little bit different battery technology called the SunVault. We've already ordered a stockpile of them. I think they're going to sell off the shelf. So SunPower is the top of the line, and it's a good stock to invest in.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about solar electric, is that if the power goes off at your home and you just have a solar electric system, you still don't get any power from these.
Correct. They detect that the power is interrupted, and it will not operate to feed the house, because it could backfeed the grid. So what the backup system, either the Tesla or the SunPower system, does is store that energy. The other thing where that's going to be extremely important is if we go to time of use, meaning that if you buy electricity at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's 15 cents a kilowatt, but if you buy at 4 in the afternoon, it's 50 cents a kilowatt. Big difference. This will store that energy and discharge it at that time, so that you've got the economics go in your favor.
So you can pay the lower rate for electricity and let your backup power the house during the high times of the year.
Exactly. Or it's like what's happening in California, when the winds reach, I think it's 45 miles an hour, they shut off the power. What can you imagine down here if they shut the power off and it's 100 degrees outside? It's not cool. So everyone really is thinking about doing the same thing. Solar power for the environment and reduce their energy costs, and the backup energy protects them. You don't have to leave and try to find a motel in Orlando that's completely packed. It's kind of like buying a generator. You wait till the last minute and you go to one of the big box stores, and all of a sudden you realize there's 15,000 people in front of you and they're out of generators. Time to do it is now. Think ahead of time and invest now.
Exactly. Now, you're talking about the backup systems for this solar, and you mentioned the battery vault, but you right now offer 2 others, the Sonnen and the Tesla Powerwall.
Correct.
Let's take a look at those while we're talking about them.
Sure, let's take a look at that.
So, Bill, this is the Sonnen battery backup system that you sell. Tell us a little bit about Sonnen.
Boy, Sonen's been around for many moons, as they say, and it's really one of the first systems to store energy for the home, made in Germany, and high technology and stuff like that. Thousands and thousands deployed. Excellent battery technology, lithium iron phosphate, which is really cool stuff. It has much larger batteries, which we could show in a minute, than say the Tesla model. If you look at the Tesla model inside, the batteries are for the Tesla are kind of almost like little tiny shotgun shells, where the ones in the Sonnen are a little bit different. And you can kind of tell down here, these are 2,000 watt hour batteries, and they're pretty large. They're made by Sony. And this one actually has 3 batteries in it. So this is what they call a 6 kW system. There's room to put another battery in there. And then, Jim, I think yours is like a 10, right?
10 kW, yes.
Yeah, so a 10 kW actually is a larger unit with more storage capacity in the bottom. So you could add on to it in the future. But this is a rock solid product, and we have helped people a lot of these units.
And what are the benefits of having a backup system to go with your solar electric panels?
Well, kind of like we were talking about before, is if the grid were to go down, right? Just think, we've had some issues in Flagler County, especially a couple years ago, where they were down for like 3 weeks, some parts of Flagler. Well, imagine being down 3 weeks without, well, first thing happens is your food spoils. The next thing happens is you're miserable because you don't have any air circulation. It's a mess. You also don't have any security, which I think is a big thing. So what this does is it's instantly, as soon as the grid goes down, that solar energy that's stored from the solar panels going into those batteries kicks in immediately. You can't even tell. I don't even think you'll see a flicker. It just automatically kicks in. Well, the only reason you're going to know it's happened is, if your neighbor comes over and knocks on the door and says, "Hey, Jim, why are your lights on? Why have you got the fan on? Why is it comfortable in here? Why are you drinking a cold adult beverage out of your refrigerator when I'm miserable?" Why? Because you had the forethought to plan in advance.
Yep. And we had, when one of the hurricanes came through, I think it was Matthew was the first one that came through, we lost power for a week. And with this, we still had refrigeration, we still had ceiling fans, we still had fans we can plug in. We could still use the coffee maker. It was just wonderful. But yes, money well spent, and really there's not many options as far as power to your house when you lose the electricity. They do make generators for the home, which a lot of people use the portable generators. The hazards with that, we probably all know. And then there is the whole house generators, which require a lot of maintenance. They also either require diesel fuel or propane to run those, and a lot of ongoing maintenance that never ends. Any maintenance to these?
Really nothing to maintain. Everything, all the adjustments and upgrades are made over the internet. You do have to have internet. You have to have internet because they'll when any modifications come, they can actually fine tune it right over there. The other thing that's important to think about is communication. Like, let's suppose that the grid were to go down for an extended period of time. How are we going to charge our cell phones? How are we going to communicate? If we have a generator, what happens if on a massive scale we're not able to move gas to refill the tanks? And there's a lot of things that can go wrong. I think about as bulletproof product as you can have is the SunPower and the Sonnen, the Tesla. Now you've got the security. Security is a big thing. If you got a security system on your house and don't have any electricity, is not doing a lot of good.
Yep, the world is not getting any more peaceful, folks. So security is a big item. But I've had my system since 2016, my Sonnen. And I think that's when I upgraded with more solar panels at that time, and I haven't had a minute's problem with it. So it's rock solid.
Good stuff.
Well, let's take a look at the Tesla and kind of compare and contrast these two.
Okay, cool.
So, Bill, this is the Tesla battery backup to the home, and they call this a power wall. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And it does look like part of the wall. Now, tell us about Tesla.
Well, most people are really familiar with the name Tesla. Actually, yesterday again was Battery Day, and they had a big production on that. But Tesla has done some amazing things. Everything from electric vehicles to rockets to tunnels to the whole 9 yards. But one of the things that we really love about the Tesla is the Powerwall. So the Powerwall, this particular model, has 13,500 watt hours of energy storage. So we can combine these, we could put 2, and you can see this is relatively small compared to the other one. They use smaller batteries, but again, it's hooked to the internet, and they can make adjustments and fine tune it as they go along, which happens when they come up with software changes. You don't want to have to go and change something in the home that is done over the internet. But you know, this is one. We could add two. Now we've got 27,000 watt hours. We actually are working on a commercial system in Jacksonville right now where it has 10 power walls, and that's really more designed to offset demand charges on a commercial application. But just another really neat part of renewable energy.
You know, these can be stacked and added to where the Sonnen is, that's limited to the number of batteries you can put in there, the wattage you can put in.
Right, yeah. Well, on yours where you have the extended cabinet, of course you've got the ability to add on, but if you wanted to go to like a 30 kW, then you have to go to multiple units, kind of like this. But these are a little newer design and a little more compact, I think, because you know, we can hang these on the wall, we can put them outside, just about anywhere. You know.
Now with my Sonnen unit at home, I can't power my air conditioner or the water heater, the 220 volts of the stove. But with the Tesla, you can add on to these and where you can power all this stuff. Is that correct?
Yes, you know, we really recommend, if you're going to do air conditioner, central air conditioning, we recommend going with 3 Tesla Powerwalls, although we do have a substantial number of customers that have 2 Powerwalls, and we install soft start kits in the air conditioners. That allows the air conditioner, you know, there's a big surge when the compressor turns on, and that affects the battery backup. So if we go with multiple units, 2 of them will install a soft start.
Yeah, very good. Well, let's just step back over here and take a look at this. Tell us what this contraption is.
Well, this is, in this room, it feels pretty comfortable in here. Yeah, this room is actually heated and cooled by a solar-powered mini split heat pump. So what's cool about that is during the day, the solar modules operate the heat pump, and at night it goes back to 220 volt conventional. This is kind of the rage right now when you think about the central air conditioning. We have ducts through the attic and a bunch of stuff. This actually, the unit goes on the outside. Typically, this is the inside unit, and very economic. This one draws about 700 watts of energy an hour.
Wow.
Perfect combination when you're using battery backup and solar. Because the way I describe the backup power is it's like you go out into the desert and you've got a bottle of water, big bottle of water, right? Well, you can drink that whole thing at once and be miserable for what's left of your life, right? Or you can nurse it. You have to kind of do that when the grid goes down. You got to act like, okay, I can't live my life normally. I want to live my life comfortably and safely, and that's what the battery allows you to do.
So I could actually install something like this, and my Sonnen would still power this when power outages happen. It's not like supplying the whole house air conditioner.
Yeah, we have well, Gloria, as you know, Gloria has one in her home, and boy, she's a walking vocabulary when it comes to solar. She has every product. She can tell you the whole way about it, but it's just good. I just think about choices. I bring this up lots of times. You know, we're as individuals, we want choices. We don't want someone to say, look, there it is, you're going to have that piece of bread today and you're going to have that egg. That doesn't really appeal to me. I want to be able to pick, right? Well, it's the same thing with solar. I can pick to rent energy from the electric company. Nothing wrong with that. I love our friends at the energy company. Or I could choose to be energy independent. That's my choice. Now, what's changed is it doesn't cost me anything to do that. That's a whole different ballpark than when I put the system in years ago. I had to pay cash for it. Now with these solar easy plans, everybody should be doing this. Yeah. If you've got a roof that's free of shade, it's in good condition, okay, and you have reasonable credit, you need to think about doing this. Make the choice.
Electricity is not going down in price, so everything else is going up, so will electricity. So, well, let's go over here and take a look at a few more things that SolarFit offers, and we'll talk about those.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks.
So Bill, tell me about this piece of equipment here. I know I've got 2 of these in my garage. So what do they do?
So that's a power inverter. So in the building we're in our office building, we've got a 5 kW solar electric system that has DC modules, and the power comes down to this unit and it's changed over to AC, and then it can be fed into our panel box to offset our energy. So you've got 2 of those because you've got a nice big system. We've got one here, then we've got another system with micro inverters, that another 10 kW that services the rest of the building. So we've got an $8 electric bill, which is nice. We've got battery backup with the Sonnen. Oh man, where's that?
So not all homes with solar have this in their garages or in the house, right?
Right, yeah. Most of our stuff now is switched over to microinverters, where you actually have a power inverter attached directly to the solar sun power module. Now you're switching from direct current to alternating current right at the module itself. This allows us to add on, right? So a customer has a $200 electric bill, and we get it down to $8, but they buy an electric car and it jumps up to another 30, or maybe they put in a swimming pool and a pump, need a little bit more power, we can just add on modules. Very simple.
Oh, very good. Well, let's talk about this. It looks like a water heater.
This is a water heater. This is a water heater. This is one of our this is an investment that is very low in cost that produces tremendous results. If you think about a standard water heater, you've got an electrical element in the top and one at the bottom, and both of them are 4,500 watts. So what happens is when you open a faucet anywhere in the house and the hot water leaves the tank, the cold water comes in and that element at the bottom turns on. Now that's like operating 145 watt light bulbs, right? Or 45 100 watt light bulbs. Well,
Wow.
can you imagine what you say to the kids if you had, 4,500 watt light bulbs? Close it. My mother used to say, you brought up in a barn, right? You can turn the lights off. So what solar does is it actually has the ability to take the cold water out of the tank, run it through a solar panel, solar water heating panel, return it to the tank so that the water is being heated for free. Typical family of 4 could save anywhere from $45 to $65, depending on the amount of their water use, a month. It's a big
There
number.
again, these will pay for themselves over time.
Very quickly. I would say, probably within 4 years for a typical family. A family of 2, we have smaller units, like a 50-gallon. But in every instance, if you have access to the sun, it makes sense to do it. Either buy the energy from the utility company or you make your own energy.
Well, very good. Well, we've got a panel here with just a lot of stuff on it. So I'm going to step out of the picture, allow you to tell the audience what all this stuff is, and just tell them about what it is and what you install them on and stuff like that.
Sure, Jim. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so we're coming over to our display panel here, and of course this is a sun power module, and you'll see it's perfectly black. And this is actually how it's mounted to the roof surface. So everything is done directly into the trusses, wind certified to 130 plus mile an hour. We always say if you have a hurricane, when they find your roof, it'll still be attached. Just a little joke, but they're not going anywhere. They're just really rugged. This is a sun tunnel. This lets natural light into the home. So if you've got a section of the home where maybe it's dark and you have to flip the lights on when you come in, this is the way to go. Save electricity, really brightens up the home. The other thing that I would like to show you is this solar water heating panel and how it differs. You can tell with the solar electric it's relatively thin. This one is a little thicker because it actually has a copper plate and copper tubes, and it has 2 inches of polyisocyanated insulation underneath it, anodized aluminum and low iron safety glass. This is a very high performance unit that heats the water in the home. This is our famous attic fan, our solar attic fan. So as opposed to some of the box stores that are kind of relatively, maybe metal and stuff like this one actually has everything built right in, the motor built right in, and it has a Mercedes brushless motor. So if anybody out there has ever wanted a Mercedes, you can have one on your roof for about a fraction of the cost. And what it does is a solar electric module, when the sun strikes it in the morning, it starts the fan turning very slowly, and it faster and faster and faster as the day goes on, and it sucks the heat out of your attic. And the benefit of that is your air conditioning ducts go through the attic, they're hot, right? It cycles the air conditioner on and off. This makes it maybe 30, 40, 50 degrees cooler in the attic, prolongs the life of the roof and everything. Very inexpensive entry into solar power. Do a lot of them. Over here is, this is the Helical solar pool system. This is the finest in the world, just like the sun power. We only offer the best products. Our theory is if we offer the best products to our customer, then we'll have happy customers forever. If we take shortcuts, it never works. My mother used to say, taking shortcuts gets you where you don't want to go in a hurry. Okay, so we've got the solar modules that sit up above the roof to ventilate the shingles. We've got a variable speed Pentair pool pump, which we also offer, and an automatic control system we call the set and forget. So if you want the pool 88 degrees, you set it 88 degrees, you close the cover, you go grab your bathing suit, and onward and upward, fun time.
Well, very good. Well, that brings us back to the solar panel.
Okay, here we
And
go.
we were talking about the benefits of even commercial property. You have solar on your business here.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, residential, it's a no-brainer. Everyone should do it if they have adequate roof space and everything. But the commercial, believe it or not, is even better. And the reason is you not only get the 26% tax credit, but you can get depreciation benefits. So the combination of the tax credits and the depreciation could be as much as 45 to 50% of the cost. And depending on where you're located, you may also qualify for grants. There's a grant called the REAP grant, and if you get the REAP grant on top of it, it's like, you know, it's tremendous. So if you have a commercial building out there, if you have a church out there, we're doing some churches now here locally in town. You need to do this. This is the right thing to do. You know, we haven't even talked about the environment yet. That's a whole other thing. But you're doing something that's good for the planet.
Right. So solar for you people that have commercial property, businesses, offices. You might want to look into this. They still get the tax credit. Is that correct?
Still get the tax credit plus the depreciation, and it just pays for itself in a very short period of time.
So it's like an investment on your business that you get to write off on taxes. So. Well, Bill, anything else you want to add other than I can tell you that all out there that SolarFit is top-notch. Their service is second to none. They back up everything they sell, and the most honest guy in the world is right here.
Well, thank you, Jim. And all I can say is that you and Don are wonderful people. It's been great to have your friendship and as a customer and an advocate, and we applaud what you're doing for the citizens of Palm Coast up there. And thank you for your service as a background as a fireman for many years. And
oh, yes.
We appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Bill, for being here. And it was nice talking with you. And I'm going to do a segment later on the system that is on my home that will be in another YouTube video. But that will be coming later on. So thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this.
Take care, folks.